Can this dog stop Stop it.
Go ahead.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am titanium. I just been singing that all day long, everybody. I am titanium by Saya. Okay? Very, very popular song on the radio these days. My name is Captain Bob Lee, General. I am I'm a spirit in human form. And we've got
Jesus.
flat face Gilbert.
What's up? I have a flat face.
Yes, we've got my beautiful princess. She just got back from Coachella, right? Khalyla Goon. We have George. Howdy. Don't, jeez, dude. If you say howdy, one more time like that, I'm gonna rip your eyes out. Howdy. Anyway, and we got his handsome cousin Bryce.
Who's sitting in a closet? I know you haven't introduced me yet.
Yeah. Okay. That's where he belongs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck eyes.
Yeah, he's a dirty white.
Yeah.
And dirty white's going there. You're not dirty? Huh? I'm dirty. And also we have a very, very, very special guest. And the thing is that I've known her for so long, and I'm actually quite, her and her husband, I'm a little intimidated by them. They're a power couple. But we've got Natasha Leggero in the house. Everybody, clap your hands.
How are you? How can you be intimidated by me? Because you got me everything when I first started. You were like my champion.
I know, but the thing is that
you're the first comedian I ever met.
Wow. Is it really?
Yeah, and Bobby, you would meet me, and we would have remember there was some place on Sunset where you could it was you would go down and have coffee, and then you were like, I'm just gonna run and do a set. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, whoa, he could just go do a set like that.
Wow.
I thought that was so cool.
I do remember going to Los Feliz with you at that Starbucks with Aaron Cater, and we would write and stuff there.
Yeah.
And then you started doing it. It's so funny because I knew you before you did it, and the same with Ali Wong. Ali Wong, I knew her before she did it.
In San Francisco?
Yes.
You were a San Francisco comic?
No, but she was a journalist. And I did a really shitty breakdancing movie called Kicking It Old School with Jamie Kennedy.
I remember that.
You do?
I mean, kind of.
Yeah. It's really good and bad at the same time. But I was doing press there, and I met Allie, and Allie was like, hey, I want to do stand-up. And I'm like, oh, you should. And
That's
then,
cool.
give her pointers or whatnot.
But you must have done that for so many people. You're like a godfather.
Yeah, I did it last night too. I don't know why. I don't know why I do that. Why do you think I do that? Is it a neediness on my part? Yeah.
You're like well, it's because comedians they have this desire. Everyone wants, especially you're like a quintessential comedian.
Yeah.
One person in your family probably didn't give you enough love. A parent.
My dad. Yeah.
And now you need to get that love every night.
Oh my God, is that what it is?
And then you get it more from helping other people, and you've got this overact, but it's good.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to brag.
You're about to though.
I'm about to brag, but I don't want to at all.
You have to, yeah.
Okay, but I have to brag?
Yeah.
Right? Is that there is, a group of comics that I think encouraged or pushed a little bit, and they're still in it, and they're doing quite well.
So you don't just try to help anyone.
I feel like I've heard you tell a lot of people
who aren't even good
drop their engineering jobs.
Yeah, Fahim Anwar.
Not
Fahim Anwar. Sweetie, drop your engineering job, Fahim.
Not Fahim.
I just fucking.
Fahim did it before you. I'm saying I've heard at least 3 times
I like
a day.
This dynamic.
At least 3 times a day.
Every day.
Oh yeah, you live in Milwaukee. What are you? You're a truck driver. You should move out to LA, bro. Yeah. You do that all the time.
I have a wife and 4 kids.
Howdy. Howdy. Stop your laughing. Okay.
It's a coyote.
So she's in charge of you, kind of, Bobby.
Yeah, just a few puppet strings.
She let me say something. She has changed my life.
That's good. You guys are a very cute couple.
And 5 years, and I met her on Tinder, and I'm having a little upswing in my career right now.
And I'm at my wit's end completely. I'm having a major down.
It's a pendulum shift.
Yeah.
And my upswing is, I think she's a part of that, the catalyst of that.
That's good.
Yeah, because she started this podcast.
I just bought the mics.
It doesn't matter. You kept going, let's do it, let's do it.
No, I just thought that you should have one. And you were like, I'm going to do it.
Khalyla, just take the
I will. I'm taking the
compliment. Take the credit.
Yeah, you should take the credit, babe.
I good. Okay, good.
Come on, babe.
I will.
But the thing is that she changed my life, and I'm not gonna say it again because I've been saying that
every
every episode now.
I feel like it's getting,
yeah, it's getting out of control.
Getting out of
it's too
control.
nice.
I'm not used to all this kindness from you.
Yeah.
It feels weird.
But Natasha married Moshe Kasher,
Yes, that's true.
right? Who is another outstanding comedian from San Francisco. I've known him for a very long time as well. He's a great guy.
You're friends with all my ex-boyfriends.
That's right.
You're
right.
friends with everybody.
Russell.
You're like the leader. Like you're like a connector.
I have enemies. I have people that I don't like.
that you don't like.
There are people that I just don't care for.
I feel like all the wisdom I got early on in stand-up came from you.
Oh my God!
But we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah. What is it like? One. What is one? Do you even remember? Do you even remember? Do you even fucking remember?
I remember many.
Yeah.
I quote them all the time.
On stage.
I quoted one to Moshe the other day because you said something that unless everyone, you're nobody until people start hating you.
Right. I still say that. I still say that a lot.
And then you also said to try to be funny before you start talking when you go up on stage. And I noticed the other day you did that.
Yeah, you're
really good at that.
You do this. You know, people write jokes, and people go, "Well, I gotta," especially when people haven't done it yet. They're like, "Oh, I'm just waiting until my material's ready." And I'm like, you're not going to be able to say that shit until you're comfortable on stage. And the only way to get comfortable on stage is to bomb repeatedly.
Well, that's another one of your things that you said. You said
I know why you're making me laugh.
You said like you have to bomb 100 times.
Yes.
That thing.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Ari said that I told him that as well.
Yeah, he used to have it hanging on his wall.
No.
Yes, that was the only decoration he had in his house.
Wow.
And it was this big like calendar. It shows you his work ethic.
Yeah, he's got.
And it said, you must bomb, what was it? Until you bomb 100 times, you're a bad comic.
Yeah.
And he had and then it said Bobby Lee. It was a quote. Oh.
Yeah.
She got a picture of that.
And then he had the dates, and then he bombed a lot, it seemed like.
Yeah. And then
he's someone
he
who
beat
can
the
bomb.
shit out of me. He beat the shit out of me 3 times in a row.
Well, I'm sure you're friends now.
We're very good friends now.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Sometimes you got to go through some beatings.
Yeah. You do, right?
Good advice.
Yeah.
So you and Moshe are married, and then what happened? You have a baby now.
Yeah, I had a baby.
And what's that like?
It's fun.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You're pregnant. He showed me the photo of when you first with the baby, and that was the first time in my life that I actually felt my ovary kick. No offense, but I mean, just saying, like, I never felt any type of like, I never really wanted to have a child. But when I saw that photo, I was like, oh my God.
What about the photo made you want to have a child?
Didn't you feel the same way?
I did, yeah. Well,
You mean when they put the baby on me?
Yes,
Yes.
that photo.
Oh my God, that was so scary. Because like everyone's like, you have to have skin to skin. I didn't know what that was. And then as soon as because I had a C-section, so it was like scheduled. So like it was scheduled for 10 a.m. and at 10:07, they're like, they took the baby out of me and then put it on my neck. And I was like, but it wasn't washed or anything. Like,
yeah, but did you have that bonding
skin-
moment?
No, I was just like, can you give it a bath? Like it was just like, it was a little too like dirty.
Yeah, but
No, it was, I just don't.
it's your baby.
I
Your
know,
first
but-
meeting.
But I was on drugs and they had just like tore her from me and then put her right here.
Yeah,
on
wash
my
it,
neck.
rinse it.
Well, it wasn't even that it was dirty. It was just like I didn't know what I was supposed to feel. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I was just, yeah.
And then how long was that baby on you?
I asked them to remove it.
Like
a couple minutes.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, I had enough.
Well, I looked back at Moshe and he just looked scared.
Oh,
You know,
I
and he
bet.
had scrubs on, and because everyone's like, we didn't know what we were supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Because everyone's like, it's gonna be crazy, but it's like it's just this stranger that's like
Right.
put on your neck,
Yeah, but there's not that instant love and connection that I
She
read
was
about.
screaming.
It's not how Bobby and Khalyla pictured it, but
I know the photograph. I feel like
yeah,
the photograph
it was a little
told a
deceiving.
completely different story.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is life changing.
That's what we were
I was
talking about.
smiling in the picture, and
Yeah.
I don't remember smiling during that moment.
You don't?
No, so maybe it was like beyond what I could realize.
Yeah, we saw the photo, and I'm like, first of all, and don't take this the wrong way, but You're probably the last person I thought would ever have a baby.
Why is that?
Okay.
Because and I also don't want you to take this the wrong way, but you're fancy.
Right, but lots of queens have had babies.
That's true.
Princes.
Yeah. But I always like looked at Natasha as like almost royal. You know?
Thank you.
Because
and
she
I
is
am slightly regretting it. But no, I'm not.
Yeah.
She's
No,
so sweet.
She's sweet, right?
She got her little shots today and she started crying. It was very upset.
Oh.
They have to give him the vaccines.
Oh.
Scary.
How do you feel about the anti-vax movement?
Well, I was thinking today if something happened to her, I would become an anti-vaxxer.
Oh, right. What did autism happen from that?
Yeah, Jenny McCarthy. There were people who were really rallying against this. Like, whole
I have no
movement of
feelings
anti-
about that. Moshe's very pro-vaccine, so I just listen to him because I have no instincts. So like I kind of look to him.
Yeah.
Like people ask me about raising the kid and stuff. Like I didn't even know you weren't supposed to spank your kids. Do you guys know that?
I didn't know that.
I
That
got
you're not
spanked and
supposed
beat.
to?
Like you are absolutely not supposed
Well,
to.
you can't
a child.
spank your kid?
No,
in
but
America, you can't just put him over your knee and slap him in the
It's
butt
like
and stuff?
it's been proven that it doesn't work.
No, but is it illegal?
No, it's not illegal.
Oh,
but
okay,
it's
good.
like
I'm good then.
It works.
But it's like one of those things.
We're
like
Asian. We got
Yeah.
beat.
really, you think
Yeah.
it works?
For Asians, it worked.
Well, we were all spanked.
Yeah.
It was.
Look at you.
I had to pluck my brace. When I had braces, I had to pluck the wires out from my lips. I had
God.
to peel them out.
But
my
you
mom
think
didn't
that
spank
helped
me.
you?
She boxed my mouth. No, I resented her for a long time. So no, I don't plan on boxing my kids, but a little spanking maybe. once
You're
in a while.
really. I mean, I'm just telling you. When you guys have a baby and you're in a play group and you tell someone that you spank your kid,
They look at you weird.
it's really bad.
Really? My dad used to
Yes.
beat me with a golf club, and I'm not even kidding. Like,
No.
like the putter, and
Wait,
as hard as it
really?
can against my legs.
And a piano.
And he would go, hiya. He'd go 4. He would say 4. 4. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah. I swear to God.
He would say 4.
Yeah.
Bobby. That part you're making
I'm
up.
making that up. Yeah. But he used to beat me with that, and then
The piano.
Steve, him and I had like a lightsaber duo. Because when I got older, I'm like, oh, you're gonna use golf clubs, bitch? I grabbed a golf club.
But how's your relationship now?
He's great. He's dying, but he was great. You know, I see him, I love him, and I have no resentment at all toward the man.
Do you remember being spanked?
Yes, my mom had this thing called the paddle. And it was like a silver thing of wood because she was a single mother, so she was always trying to find ways to discipline us.
Yeah,
And then I remember it hurt.
yeah. But did she use it all the time on you or no?
Not all the time. Like
Right.
it didn't feel abusive, but it definitely felt like a threat.
What's the cutoff age of like acceptable for spanking?
I'm telling you, it's like so taboo right now.
Okay,
But
good
I'm-
to know. Noted.
Do it in
I
your
mean, I just
private
don't think
life.
that there's a cutoff because it's like it's just kind of been proven in the same way that I don't know.
What?
Well, no, how there's just ways that you have to act now.
Yeah,
You have to comply.
I know.
But I don't want to spank my child anyway.
Yeah, don't.
I
Well,
mean, you know what? We don't spank our dogs.
Our parents used to
So-
talk shit about each other to us. You know what I mean? Like people kind of know not to do that now. Like things have been like proven and changing. Things have
Yeah.
changed a little bit.
The whole world is sensitive, is what we're saying here.
Well, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like there are also certain things that we've learned through evolution. You
Right.
know, like
yeah.
it's bad to pit your kid against, like have the parents pit like your dad's an asshole.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, like we kind of know you're
we
not
know
supposed to do that, but
Sure.
I think they
Yeah.
used to do that.
What was the first thing I said to you when I know you had the baby, and then the first time I saw you after you had the baby? What was the first thing I asked you? Do you remember? I asked you if the baby was deaf. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
Because her husband Moshe, very good comedian by the way, his parents are deaf. Both of them.
But it's a recessive gene, and he had it, but I didn't have it. So in order for our daughter to even have a 30% chance of being deaf, we would both have to have
yeah, but
the
I don't
gene.
fucking know that, Natasha.
No, I know.
You know,
I'm
that's
just
why I asked you, and I was being
explaining it to
real.
you.
I was going, is it deaf?
I was just explaining it to you.
I know.
But we did get our DNA tested,
Yeah.
and the thing came back with and we didn't understand what a recessive gene was, but a scientist explained it to us.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, oh, he has it. Our baby could be deaf. And I was still down, you know.
But it's not going to be deaf.
No, it can hear.
It could.
Yeah.
But what do you mean?
Do
So
a little test and I think.
wait. Moshe has a recessive gene. What does that mean?
There's recessive and there's dominant, right?
I know, but is
you want me
Moshe
to-
going to go deaf?
No.
Oh.
He is just, it's recessive in him, so he's a carrier of the
All right,
gene.
first of all, I don't like the way you guys are mocking me. Like I don't know what I'm fucking talking about. I'm asking
He's
real
gonna go
questions.
deaf from his
Wait,
gene.
okay, what does recessive mean to you?
Let me tell
could
you.
go deaf.
It's recessing.
No. There's a dominant gene and a recessive gene.
Yeah,
There's
so
called
he
gene-
has it, but it's not happening
No,
yet.
there's
It's
something
recessing.
Science alert.
Science alert. Beep, 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 science alert.
There's gene expression,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If it's a dominant gene, then it expresses itself. So recessive means he carries the gene, but he's not expressing the gene.
Okay. Well, you know what? There's a nice way to tell me. And that's not the nice way. Don't talk down to me, baby. I don't know. I didn't go to college.
Like you know how your herpes is asleep?
Yeah.
His deafness is asleep.
Right. But can my herpes
Science
awaken?
alert. It could.
That's but I'm being
And-
real. Can it awaken my herpes?
Of course it can wake
Then
up.
why can his deafness get awakened?
Because it's a virus, what you have, and deafness is not a
Then
virus.
don't compare the two.
I don't know how to speak your
Yeah.
language.
to figure it out. You have to
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh man, her tone right now is out of control. All right, but
I
it's
saw
not-
Beyonce this weekend. I'm feeling,
Yeah,
little.
thank God it's not that. Thank God it's not that.
Thank you.
But you've met Moshe's parents, correct?
Of course.
I mean, they're married. I would hope so.
Why can't I just ask
Okay, you're right. Okay.
questions?
You're right.
You know?
I'm feeling a little.
A lot of people listening right now, they don't fucking know.
That is so funny to go to Beyonce and then just start acting like an asshole.
I feel like that's
Her
just
attitude should just be
I
bad.
came home and I just dropped my suitcase.
Yeah.
Didn't open it.
What did she do that made you feel so empowered?
I honestly could not believe that this woman had just birthed twins, and she put on a 2-hour performance.
So
and I
part
thought,
of it is that she just had a baby. Is it what
a
everyone
part
thinks
of it
so
is just
cool?
how much she put out there. Because I saw a lot of performers over the weekend, and no one even came close to the amount of work that woman does
And
on
she
the stage.
always does that, right?
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, and you can tell she enjoys it, and she really wants to leave it all out there. Like she doesn't phone it in. She's doing it all out.
Did she sing Halo?
She didn't.
Right, like Migos is like wasted.
Yeah. Migos are like,
But that's her song, Halo.
Yes.
Is that her song?
Yes.
All right, that's what I'm asking.
Bobby, I bet you don't like Beyonce.
I like Halo.
Likes Halo.
I know why you don't like Beyonce though.
Because she's black. If you say that, I'm gonna go crazy on you.
I'm gonna say something worse.
What?
Because you have really good taste in music.
There you go.
Because so do I.
Yeah. Don't. Do we not? Do we not though? You and I.
And if you really have good taste in music, you can't really
Yeah.
like Beyonce.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know. But I love that you said that, and that's why I love you so
I'm
much.
just saying. I mean, I
Yeah.
know she's a very powerful, empowering woman,
Yeah.
but you can't say. Well, I'm sure it speaks to people, but
Can I defend it by saying this though? I don't know if you know this about me, but in the last 3 or 4 years, what is it? Just say it. What is it?
Sponsor.
Okay. Can I just get my last point out then?
It wasn't for you. It was for Khalyla.
Howdy.
Okay. But anyway, here's the thing: is I've been obsessed with talent shows and singing shows. I'm obsessed with The Voice. I'm obsessed with America's Got Talent. I'm obsessed with X Factor. All that shit. Okay.
you should be a judge on the Gong Show.
what's the
Oh,
Gong
that's still
Show?
up. That's still happening.
What is that?
What's
It's
you
a
mean
talent show.
Don-
Don't you remember the Gong
Don
Show?
Barris is the show?
No,
The Ding Dong
that's,
Show?
No, that's something else.
Well, there's
You
a
don't
new Gong
remember-
Show.
Yeah.
It's a remake with Mike Myers as the host.
Wait, Mike Myers is doing the Gong Show?
He's the host.
But it's a talent show, and then you could be one of the judges.
Yeah, but Comedy Central is it?
I don't know.
Netflix.
That's
Anyway.
how far he dropped. No, this guy was the biggest fucking comedy movie star, and now he's fucking a fucking game show host.
Wait, so tell me about.
You want to talk about him? No? All right. Congratulations, Mike, for getting the show, for getting the Gong Show.
Now you're never going to be on the Gong Show.
I know, I was trying to
that's-
get you
No,
a
but I'll tell you why, and I hope Mike listens to this. I really do. He won't, but I want to. I really do believe that he's the Peter Sellers of our generation.
I love Peter Sellers.
He's the best. I know. He's the best. There's rarely a talent out there like that. Someone that really just embodies a character and you're convinced, and I think Mike Myers has that kind of talent. He's one of the best. So that's why I'm saying it. It's not, if he was just, if you said, Dane Cook is hosting the Gong Show, I'd be like, oh, congratulations. That's great for him. He's a great comic. I love him.
Yeah.
But he's not Mike Myers. Is what basically what I'm saying. I was giving him props, you fucking cocksuckers.
I agree.
What's the fucking ad?
Lisa.
What is it?
We're just gonna
Lisa.
We're just gonna take a moment for our sponsor.
Everybody, listen, guys. We have a new mattress. It's called Lisa, and I've had a Tempur-Pedic for years from Tempur-Pedia. I think that's what they're called. But this Lisa is much better. It really is. I fall asleep like a fucking baby.
We
and
chook on that thing.
We chook. Spring into better sleep. Tell them about it.
Well, one cool thing about Lisa is that one mattress donated for every 10 sold and one tree planted for every $1 received.
Aww.
So there's 23,000 mattresses donated thus far.
And you know, at TigerBelly, we care about the environment.
We
don't
really do. We're Earth people.
We're Earth people.
We're papayas.
Yeah, we're papayas of nosotros.
So plant that seed of life and get you a Lisa mattress.
Boom.
I'm being real. Get it.
Get it. $125 off at lisa.com/belly.
Whoa.
I think it might actually be more, so check if that's the automatic thing. Put in belly and you might get a little bit more.
You'll even get even more if you put in belly.
Yeah.
Guys.
I think if you use our code, it's the biggest discount you can get.
When I checked, it was a little bit more than that, but who knows what it is now. But yeah, check because there was an automatic discount, so
Okay.
put in belly to get more of a discount.
Get on it, guys.
Get on it. Lisa.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I love Lisa. Lisa's the greatest, man.
Natasha, do
so
you like
blessed.
Lisa?
She's okay. But so you're saying, what were you just saying though about Beyonce?
So, a lot of these talent shows, they use these top 40 songs to audition with, right?
Oh, yeah.
So I've been getting as an older person, being able to appreciate simple, strong structures, but it's based on the singing, because there's a lot of songs that, like Whitney Houston. I didn't even know a single Whitney Houston song until I started watching talent shows. I thought she was a crack addict. Like, if you say
That's it.
You've only seen a reality show with Bobby Brown.
not even after that, just the photos online of her like dried lips and like twisted. I go, oh, she's a street walking crack addict. I didn't know that she was this talented person.
I'm every woman.
But then when you watch like talent shows, someone will sing a Whitney song and the audience or the judges will be like, this is gonna be difficult because it's Whitney. You know what I mean? This is a very difficult song. So. I appreciate songs where it's difficult to sing, and that's why I'm beginning, not necessarily Beyonce, but there are certain people like, I didn't know who Kelly Clarkson was,
Or Alicia Keys.
or Alicia Keys, or any of these people, but because I watched...
That's right. I remember when you made your first a Divas playlist.
Yeah, I did.
And you were like, look, sweetie, it's Beyonce and Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, I don't know how to...
Now, Mary J. Blige, she's cool.
She's cool,
I feel like
yeah.
I like her. I mean, I just find Beyonce songs kind of boring. Though.
Yeah, and I agree with you.
Thank you.
But I've always been into people that play instruments and write songs, and
She does?
No, in general.
Right, me too.
Yeah, I when you're raised with, I was raised with the Stones and the Beatles and and then like the Velvet Underground and Roxy Music and all these all these.
But you
bands.
always like new music too. Like
I
as
love
it came
new
out.
stuff. Yeah,
like
yeah.
New alternative music.
Yeah, I do. I like new stuff and.
And have you made the switch to hip hop?
It's hard.
Because you kind of have to, because that's all that people care about anymore.
I know, but it's been hard for me.
You don't like the Lils?
What is the little? See, I want to write that down.
No,
Lils.
like Lil Peep.
It's all little something.
I thought the Littles
Lil
was a little.
Dicky.
I thought
Lil
I was gonna Google
No,
the Littles.
I'm trying to name the
Lil Bow
genre.
Wow.
Yeah.
Little Bow Wow.
No,
Bow
that's
Wow.
the wrong genre.
No, here, anyone listening right now, I really want to be an open person, and I want to absorb new things. And if you're like really into hip hop, and really know what the cool things are that I should listen to, that's kind of innovative and forward. Give me a list. Email TigerBelly. Give me a list of
hip hop.
hip hop groups. Yeah,
specifically.
that I can dive into because I have all the Spotifys and all that stuff, and I'd be happy to dive into it.
But you don't really listen to much hip hop.
Well, I mean, in the late '80s, I listened to like what my brother listened to, like not Jurassic 5, but
I love Jurassic
Tribe
5.
Called. I love Jurassic 5 also, but Tribe Called Quest. Those kind of the Fugees. I like them. I like those earlier ones. And then as it got older, I got aggressive. Like I would go into Chris D'Elia's car, and he'd have some sort of like a really aggressive
Trap
just
music.
machine guns going off and people dying. And N-word. you know what I mean, that kind of stuff, and I just didn't like it.
What about Migos? What about Migos?
I love the Three Amigos. Is that a band?
Do you like Migos?
I do.
I
hate them?
can't do Migos, but I am in love with a 22-year-old. I love Post Malone so much.
See if Bobby would get into that. Have you played it for
I
him?
doubt
You know
it.
Post Malone? I know Primo Malone.
Do you know Post Malone?
Primo Malone's my favorite.
I think Bobby would like Post Malone.
I don't think he'd like Migos at all.
Migos is like funny though.
It's funny.
It's funny.
Can we play it on here?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
you have it?
Will you play? Oh, I can only play it on a song.
Yeah.
Song do you want?
Will you play Stir Fry for him?
Oh, I listened to that earlier.
Wait, it's a okay.
Is that the onion? Is that with the onion line in it?
Yeah, but
It's
is
just
it
called Stir Fry.
Yeah, it is
isn't Asian oriented?
No, Bobby.
Okay.
It's I believe it's about cocaine.
You gotta like pop your.
Oh, wait, you
I'm
guys. This
doing
is how
it.
you guys play music on your
We never
podcast?
play pop music.
The first time we
Very-
played.
Yeah.
Hey.
Basically, this is about making drugs.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, turn it off. I'm gonna get it. I love it. I'm gonna get it.
You liked it?
One stir fry, please.
Yeah. One stir fry, please.
Wait, did you really like it?
I like the groove of it, and
I like the groove.
yeah. But here's another thing: is that But here's the thing about hip hop.
Very different than like Tribe Called Quest
Right.
and like political. I mean, these guys are all. It's all about like drug analogy. Like
Right, but the music, right, is sometimes very melodic and interesting. It's just my thing, just tonally for me, is that when they start rapping, it all sounds the same to me in terms of like the cadence. You know, there's no melody. Sometimes in the chorus they'll sing a melody, but you know, it's all the same. You know,
Percussion,
so
yeah.
yeah. For me, it's a little. I have to adjust my way of thinking. I guess.
what about Drake?
Don't even know who
love
he is.
Drake. I like Drake.
Well, no, I just do a podcast where we talk about the top songs. That's how I know like what's in the top Billboard top 5. But did you know that 3 of the top 5 songs are Drake?
No,
I believe it.
Yes.
he's that big.
Yes.
It's massive.
Yeah, he can blur the lines with different audiences.
Really? So like hipsters like Drake.
Everyone likes
White
him.
people love Drake.
White people love Drake.
Canadians.
Canadians, yeah.
Well, he's Canadian.
You know?
Yeah. He was on Degrassi.
He was on. I remember, and that's the Degrassi that I watch. I don't watch the New Generation.
But I don't think anyone's ever had 3 out of the 5 songs be their band.
yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, but you know, if he's Canadian, I'm probably gonna like him
You
Why
think?
is that?
because and this is gonna sound, and I want. I'm gonna just try to tiptoe away from right, but just baby, just hear me out, okay? Here's the thing is that, you know, a lot of times when I listen to hip hop, I don't like the violence, right? Or like street, you know, life when people talk, because to me, I'm from the suburbs. I don't relate. I don't. I like trees.
A lot of
and-
these guys are from the suburbs.
they are.
Drake is not from the streets. That's why.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying Drake, if he's from Canada, right? He did a lot of maple trees, hockey sticks.
He was an actor before he was a rapper.
No, my point is because I've been to Canada, right?
Yeah.
A lot of beautiful snow.
Very beautiful
right?
snow.
Nature, right? So he's not from the streets of if he's Toronto. Where's he from?
Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah, I mean Toronto's cosmopolitan. It's like everyone's so nice.
Yeah.
The food's great. Great culture. There's no violence.
Where would you guys go if you had to escape America? Toronto?
No.
I'm gonna go to
I'm not a
Canada.
cold weather person.
Yeah.
For me,
I want to go to Italy.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Escape what?
Well,
Forever?
I heard that you could get, if you are Italian or whatever, like you could get citizenship.
Yeah, but escape what? Is a zombie apocalypse? Apocalypse? Is
I
it?
would say like a Trump situation or like a reason that you have to leave.
I know where.
Where?
I think Khalyla, we would take the dogs and we'd go south and we would go to Tulum.
Tulum, Mexico.
Too close.
To Trump?
If we're trying to escape
Trump's not
I've
gonna
never
find us
been
out
to
there.
Tulum. Is it amazing?
Oh,
Bobby explains it as where all the rich hippies go. So
Oh, really?
Okay, do you like hipsters?
I mean, not really.
Look at me right now. Do you like them?
Do I like them?
We know them. We've been around them.
I mean, I'd rather hang out with hipsters than conservatives.
There we go. Then there we go. That's all I need to hear. Okay, there are no conservatives down there. Okay, so it's hippie-ish. I don't like the hippies, but hippie-ish hipsters that live in a tropical area where it's great hotels. I mean, the most beautiful hotels you'll ever seen.
Really?
They look like you're on a different planet. Actually, that one hotel we went with the deep forest.
Bee.
It was a bee. These dark trees, and then the hotel is like amongst it, so it doesn't even
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, and it's like just trees.
And it's different from other parts of Mexico because it isn't a party town. So like,
right, I didn't get that vibe. There's no drunk white people like college kids.
There are
around.
actually none at all.
Yeah,
Amazing. I haven't heard many people talk about it.
it is. I'm going to say this: you like good food,
Of course.
the best restaurants you'll ever be.
In Tulum?
Yeah, there are these chefs that somehow open up shop there.
So it's
and
like a fancy place.
It is a fancy place. It's also very expensive. It's more expensive than all the other places I've been to.
But still Mexico, though.
Right.
Yeah, but even if you were to go to like 2 hours away to like Playa del Carmen,
Yeah.
that's cheaper. But that's got like the drunken crowd.
But it's
of-
probably cheaper than like Bora Bora or something. Or like the
yeah, Bora
Polynesia.
Bora. Bora Bora is probably more expensive. I'm trying to think.
I
And
want to go to Tulum.
You should go to Tulum.
I want to go to the Forest Hotel.
That B. It's called B.
Be Tulum.
Yeah, you would love it. The food's great there. It's right on the beach, and the water's bright blue. You know,
Is it warm?
warm
Very
as
warm.
fuck. It's
And
the Caribbean.
It's only a 3.5 hour flight from here.
Wow.
Right. And then on top of it, I said the food, but it's like the Mexicans there are the ones we like.
Bobby.
No, I want to say this, okay? And when I say that, I don't want people to get all fucking
You're like,
emaily.
the rich ones.
No, not the rich ones. Not even the rich ones. That's not what my point is. That's not what my point is. What I'm saying is this.
I'm not your wife or your girlfriend. You don't have to yell at me like that.
I'm not yelling. I'm yelling at the because you are the crowd. You're
don't
everyone
yell at
listening.
Natasha.
All right,
Please don't yell at her.
I'm gonna go over here. I'll go over here. Okay. But the thing is that you think there's Koreans I like? No, there's some fucking dirty ones, right? That I
know
don't
that.
like, and I go to Koreatown. I see them, and they're
Are
dirty.
you Korean?
Yeah, I am.
100%?
Yes, 100%.
Have you gotten your DNA tested?
No, I could be something like chupacabra or something.
An animal.
Yeah, an animal or something. But there are Koreans I don't like. There are a lot of white people I don't like. And no, I love you, George.
Howdy.
And yeah, howdy. But there are some Hispanics I don't like, and there are ones that I do like. And the Hispanics there are
A wonderful group
I can't,
of people.
I'm
I was
treading.
like, why are you talking like this? And I was like, oh, because you're Asian. You can probably say whatever you want.
Just about.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. No, but I never even thought of it that way. I think if I was a white comic, there are certain things I couldn't probably say,
You're right.
right? And that isn't that I don't think that's right. I think the whites should be able to say whatever they feel.
The whites.
You were like the Asian Martin Luther King. Whites should say whatever they like.
I believe that every race and everyone should say whatever they want.
Free speech.
And it's like if I was a white and I said those
You
things.
could just say if I was white.
No, I was a white. I'm not white. Okay, I would never be a white. A white. If I was a white. Okay. Yeah, right. And I said these things, it could devastate my career. My whole career could be on the line. And because I am not a white, I just love doing it. I love doing it in front of white people. You have no control over me anymore. Do you hear me? Your reign, yeah, your reign. Hey, you hear me, Bryce? George, your reign is over. Our day is coming. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
I think men's reign is kind of over.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it is.
And
is it
you're
not?
included in that. Sorry, Bobby. It's
What do you mean?
over.
What do you mean?
Your female disposition does not exempt you.
What do you mean, my female? Listen, let me just say this, okay? And if you're gonna start a fucking gender war with me,
I said you were one of us,
if you're gonna start,
disposition-wise.
all right, if you're gonna start a gender war with me, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've always been pro women
Yeah.
for my whole life because my mother was
A woman.
a woman, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did have a little penis on her thigh. It was a mutation.
No, I believe that you're very pro woman.
Yeah.
A mutation.
I've never. Well, it's so funny because I ran into Kira Stefanovic.
Sultanovich?
I don't know her name. I've never knew her name, but I went to Kira Stefanovic and I
Kira
said,
Sultanovich.
whatever. whatever.
KS.
KS, okay? And I just walked up to her and I go, and I checked myself. Well, she checked me. I said, oh my God, there she is. One of the strongest female comics in the country. Just, she goes, female comics? And I go, oh yeah, you're right. Just regular comics, I mean. Like it stopped me from my tracks because she is a strong, regular comic. But if somebody said to me, hey, Bombi is one of the strongest Asian comedians in the country, I wouldn't be offended.
You wouldn't?
No, because I'm not one of the strongest comics in the country. I know that. There's probably 100 dudes better than me.
And I think fan?
Ooh, we got to take him out of the shrine. Natasha.
He's one of my best friends. How dare you?
How dare you, Natasha?
Sorry.
I remember going to auditions and you'd be like worried about that fan. Going in before you.
Please tell more.
I'm sorry.
I
Maybe
mean-
I shouldn't say that.
Yeah,
No, you
yes,
can't.
please
You
tell
can't.
us more. Tell us everything.
Go ahead, please.
Please,
I
Natasha.
just remember that.
Yeah.
Well, I remember Bobby like pacing and looking at the board and seeing like that fan came in for this.
Oh, yeah.
You still pretty worried about him?
Well,
They're close.
we're pretty close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you really friends now?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, you're not. He blocked me on Instagram.
We blocked her on Instagram.
Why did he block you?
Because Bobby was obsessive. Well, can we talk about it?
No.
Khalyla was obsessing.
Well, I won't say anything.
Well, Khalyla had
I
a
took the
problem.
brunt of your obsession and he blocked me.
I have an obsession with
but
him.
he's playing Hollywood, so he won't block Bobby, but he's doing like an indirect
I have an
attack.
obsession with him. I've always had an obsession with him.
I know, I remember.
But I said to her, to you exude or you
I want you to deliver
my obsession, and I'm not going to say
the
anything
world.
because
So-
I don't want him to not like me.
You don't want anyone to not like you.
That's so weird that you say that. It's because you're right. Why am I like that?
I already told you.
Why?
Because you didn't get enough love from your father.
And
And you also, you also have a talent. And it could just be your disposition in general.
I think this is an opportune moment for me to this is real. I'm going to say something very real. I'm about to cry.
No, you're not.
I know, because I haven't cried in a long time. But and as these people know, these are my family. This is my family here, and rarely, I've been in a lot of things. I've done. I'm on a sitcom now. I've done things. I've done some movies and stuff and whatnot. And
You're very popular.
I was so bad on your show, it gave me nightmares.
What show?
happened?
Another period?
Yeah.
What
Remember, I
happened?
couldn't
No, you weren't.
I couldn't remember my lines and all
He
that
came
stuff.
home crying. He's
cares?
like,
I came home crying.
He was all day. He
Is
was
that
crying.
the last time you cried?
Yes, and he said, I couldn't say briny deep.
It traumatized me.
Yeah, the word
I-
briny deep, the phrase briny deep.
Had forgotten about that, but I just remember you were funny. Did you watch it?
No.
It was good.
I know, but the thing is that I knew. Here's the thing, though, is that for some reason that day, because it's you and Moshe, I wanted to do such a great job because you guys. I love you guys so. I really do. I've always loved you guys. I loved you guys even before you guys were even together, because I used to see Moshe at around town when he was friends with my brother before I was friends with him, because when he first moved here, he wasn't. Like he was trying to get in, and I've always just really liked him, and his stand-up is so smart, and he's such a good comic, and I just think so highly of you.
Yes.
In fact, that fucking show, what's that game show that with Byron Allen, that Byron Allen.
Oh, have you
game
done
show?
that?
The reason why I did it is I go, who's done it? They go, Louis Anderson. I love Louis and all these people. I go, yeah, it seems a little. They go, Natasha's done it. I'll do it then.
That's
You're
nice.
the reason why, right? You're the reason why I even fucking did that, because you are like hips in my mind and how I feel about you. So I'm like, that's okay to do.
Well, I was also trying to make money to buy wallpaper.
Yeah, they paid pretty good, huh? Right, you're there one day. It's the easiest show you could possibly do.
Yes.
You say one word, they write it for you, right?
Like they won't let you
They won't.
come up with stuff.
No. And you're there with, well, I did it, Caroline Ray, Louis Anderson, John Lovitz. They're a little older, right? But when you're, and you're kind of like, there's 6 chairs and you're just sitting there with them, amongst them. And it feels like back in the day in the 70s and 60s and 70s of like.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
Hollywood Square.
Old, yeah, just, no, even not back when like they used to do those roasts. It's a kind of old timey and people like are making fun of me and stuff. And, and I'm having this camaraderie with these people that I grew up watching. So it really was really fun to do. They asked me again, but I couldn't do it. But I'd like to do it again. How many have you done?
A bunch.
Like 10?
I've
How
got
much
a lot of
wallpaper do you
wallpaper.
A lot of wallpaper.
No, it's fun hanging out with,
Yeah,
Louis
those guys.
Anderson and John Lovitz.
I love those guys so much.
Motion and I have a special together that's out.
I know, and that's why.
Did you see it?
No, but I've been. If
Since you're such a fan of both of ours, you should watch
you know
it.
what? It's so funny that you say something like that because the thing is that
He doesn't have Netflix on his iPad.
I don't have Netflix on my iPad, and also on top of it, it's like
He has Netflix on his iPad.
I have Netflix on my iPad, but my point
Okay,
is that
by the way, I 100% do not expect you to watch my stand-up special.
No, but I'll tell you
will
the reason
never
why I
watch
won't.
yours. Why don't you have one?
that's the reason why.
Age-old question.
That's the reason why. Is because I'm such a lazy writer, and I hate my material, and on and on and on. That it's just one of those little things that plagues me.
Why don't you retire it on a special?
Yeah, and then you'd have to start over.
Yeah, but when I asked about it, they go, "Well, you want to do a 15-minute one,
Oh, the stand-ups.
right? That one?" And I'm like, "What?" They're like, "Yeah, they're doing these 15-minute ones,
15
It's like
minutes?
8 comics.
like 8 comics, like the guys you never heard of.
Oh,
Wait,
interesting.
Brett Morin.
Brett
was
Morin
on
did one.
it.
They're the only one I have heard of.
Well, Motion I just did like 30 minutes each, which I thought was plenty.
Yeah, but it's being advertised a lot, even on their platform.
Yeah, it's the front.
It's if you go on
The honeymoon special.
Yeah, the honeymoon special. If you go on Instagram, I think they've advertised it, or other people have, and I see it a lot.
But what does that have to do with doing a 15-minute one?
Because after,
You should have your own,
Here-
obviously.
here's the thing, though, Natasha Leggero. Are you gonna change your last name?
Got so close for that.
No, I
Good.
think I'm
keep
past
it.
that.
Yeah, keep it.
Thank you.
I love it. But here's the thing: is that I've been doing it for so long, and I'm about to like just vent a little bit here. I'm going to vent a little bit. Okay. Is you're past at the Comedy Store, correct?
Of course.
Yeah, you are. You're a headliner.
Well, that's where we met too, because we would go there every Sunday. Like I'd say 15 years ago, we were there every Sunday. Not you. You already passed.
Yeah, but I would host open mics sometimes.
And I would
stuff.
come every Sunday
Yeah,
and
amazing.
wait for Mitzi, and she never came. And then
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
finally one day after 3 months of every single Sunday, she came.
Did she pass you?
She did, but it like took another. It was like a different way that she passed me. It wasn't from the going. I think she
Right.
came in and was just like, "No one's passed," or something like that. you
Yeah.
know?
I remember one time sitting next to her, and I'm just talking to her, and they bring a comic I don't hear because I'm talking to Mitzi, and then all of a sudden, a minute in, she just yells out, "Line him! He doesn't have it!" Right? And I look up on stage, it's Louis C.K. Now, I go, because he had an HBO special at the time. His first one, right? So I turn over, I go, he has an HBO special. I have a gun too. And if I had it, I'd kill myself. And he wasn't even, he did 1 minute and he left.
Oh my god.
That's how fucking, toward the end, she just didn't have her finger on the pulse, I don't think.
I definitely don't think she had her finger on the pulse, but I do think she like had a funny wisdom to her.
She did. All those things I said, all those little things.
Those are all from her?
From her.
Oh, really?
Like she used to say, you know.
Did you used to hang out with her?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I used to go to, when I lived in San Diego, she used to drive down with Freddie Soto, and this is when Freddie Soto and I were very good friends. And he goes, "Hey, dude, we're going to Bully's, come," which at Steakhouse, which is right around, I don't think it's there anymore. And I used to eat steak with Mitzi, that's back then. And I was already passed, so it was kind of cool, but
Yeah, what kind of things did she tell you?
just the stuff that I've told you, you know what I mean, about like, you know, bombing and all that. I mean, you know, tidbits you get from, it is a sin to support mediocrity is her big one. You know, because
But then she's like, you should be called Johnny Bananas.
right, Jackie Graham.
You should wear a yellow suit and call yourself Johnny Banana.
Jackie Banana.
Or whatever.
Yeah. There was a guy named Jackie Graham. Have I told you? Have I talked about it? Yeah, Jackie Graham, right? Jackie Graham.
Yeah.
Jackie Banana.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the mediocrity thing is like,
Right.
but maybe it's whatever her vision is.
Your new name is John Campy to John Caparillo. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had to put his name on the list as John Campy for like 5 years.
Didn't
he
she
didn't-
name Carlos Mencia?
She named Carlos Mencia.
Oh, wow. What was his name?
Ned Holness.
Ned what?
Ned Holness.
Wow.
Yeah, he's half German. People don't know that.
Wow.
His dad's white. And he's from
Interesting.
Honduras.
So she wanted him to like.
Exploit that. So she
Right.
was smart in that way.
Branding.
Jackson Purdue, she said, you gotta wear a purple turtleneck on stage.
And he did.
So this poor fucking guy during the summer had a purple turtleneck
That was his
on
name?
stage. Yeah, and he's like sweating, like the sweat's just
Her
going to his neck.
vision is like a very specific 80s
Yeah.
vision of what the pulse is.
Yeah, she like, you know what it is? And you know, back in the 80s, she goes, I have one Russian, right? Yaga, right?
Yeah.
I have a gay guy. Like she wanted
Meet the quota.
meet the
Avengers,
quotas. And
yeah.
in many ways, she's not wrong to do that. I think Adam, you know, the new guy, he still does it. He's like, Sherry, he one night said, Sherry Shepherd has to come tonight. I go, why? Because, you know, she's the only black person on the lineup. Which is, I'm glad he is thinking in that way. If it was like 15 white dudes,
I think it's it's very good to be conscious of that.
Yeah.
I think that everyone's starting to like wake up to that.
but Mitzi did it in the 80s. Like when I auditioned, she saw me and she passed me. She's like, oh, finally, like an American Asian guy who doesn't resort, you know, that kind of thing. You're like your own thing, you know, because before the gooks that they used to have were like ching-chongy gooks, like, you know,
Yeah.
they look like you.
Yes, thank you.
So you used to eat at a steakhouse with her? That sounds fun.
Yeah, but she doesn't tip, so we'd have to throw money on it. You know?
She just doesn't tip. She doesn't believe in it.
She doesn't tip, no.
Why?
I don't know.
She goes to a nice restaurant and doesn't tip even 15%?
We used to throw money onto the table. That's all I know.
Wow. I'm glad
I mean,
you lowered your voice for that.
Well, I know. She also passed away, so I feel a little guilty for saying that.
Oh, that's why you're lowering your voice.
Yeah. So if I say it like,
Flag is half
She won't.
staff.
She won't hear
half
it.
staff. Yeah, I'm half staffing it.
Yeah.
Maybe Polly won't hear it. You know.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say though is that back to my original point was that these Netflix specials and whatnot is that being playing that room and being a regular, that's not easy to do. I feel like, you know, when you're playing the rooms in the three rooms, improv, you know, Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, especially the Comedy Store, you have to be vetted. They don't throw just anyone up on stage. They have to be, you know, seen over the even sometimes years. And I feel like the industry, they just look at the whole thing. And I'm sure there are great comics that do what's that nerd place that they do it? Nerdist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or there's some what? Meltdown, that's what I'm saying, you know. There's some great, you know, coffee shop comics probably, you know, but what?
Nothing.
Well, they would probably rise to the...
No, but they use coffee shop comics in these things.
What things?
Like they get things ahead of me in terms of like.
Well, here's what's happening. It's becoming easier to make it.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
You really
like,
think so?
Of course, because how many comedians do you know who've been at it for 4 years and they have their own show?
You're right.
It took people. It took like us, like 10 years at least.
Yeah.
And now it's like it just doesn't take 10 years anymore. Because there's so much. There's so many networks.
That's also the same thing with music. It's like it's really hard to be a massive universal star now because there's just so many ways to make it. There's so many just like independent.
You just have to have your
artists.
niche audience. Like this is a
Exactly.
very popular podcast, right?
Yeah.
And
it's
it's
very
like
specific.
it's very specific,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you go
yeah.
on the road and they come see you.
Yeah,
and
it's
you're right.
amazing. Yeah, and they're gonna
That's
love
great.
you. I'll tell you that right now. But I don't know how I
Not
feel.
if they love Beyonce.
But I don't know how I feel about that. Like in one way, I encourage it. Like when we do we collaborate with a lot of like YouTube people and stuff like that, and I love them, and I think they're great. We've had YouTube people on the show, right? Young people that have been catapulted.
Have you heard of this guy Cameron Dallas?
No.
He's a YouTuber, and he just went on a national world tour of a meet and greet because they don't have a skill.
He takes pictures
He just meets
and
them.
fills stadiums. It's stadiums. Just
Yeah.
take pictures.
Oh my!
I mean, obviously, it's very young girls because
Yeah.
he's cute. But, but
he
yeah,
must
it's
make
like
a lot of money.
doesn't sing, doesn't do stand up.
But what does he do on YouTube then? Is he just like vlog his life?
selfies and like
Weird, like I guess videos, skateboarding videos. I don't really know. I don't spend a lot of time on.
A CAA
his
called
YouTube.
me and said, "Hey, there's this company they need help from you." And I said, "This is 5 years ago." I go, "All right, what is it?" They're like, "Did they just have they signed a bunch of Vine stars?" And I go, "Okay," and they just want to have a meeting with you. There's good money in it for you. I didn't know what it was about. I showed up at this company, and they had a catalog of people. They're all millions of hit. I don't know. I didn't do Vine, so I don't know.
yeah.
And they go, "Hey, we want you to teach our guys how to do stand up."
Oh, whoa.
Teach Vine. Oh,
I go, "What?" And then, yeah, because we want to be able to generate income for them, and we think that live personal appearances would be fruitful for. And I go, "Yeah, it's not something that you can just teach like that. It takes 10, 15 years." Bye.
Yeah, your agent should have like vetted
that, yeah, but
a little bit
I
better.
couldn't fucking believe it.
That's crazy.
It's
yeah.
crazy.
They just go to the. You think he sells out stadiums of people wanting a picture?
it's a lot of. I think he does like skits from what I've seen.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, I'll go on the road. I was at Schaumburg Improv. One show was like, one of my shows was like half full. But the show during the day was a YouTube star. He was sold out.
Really?
Yeah.
I just thought of another wisdom that you gave me.
What?
You took me on the road to open for a college to open for you. You were doing a college, and you said colleges are like robbing banks. You can cut that out if you want.
No, I don't know. No, that's 100% true. I don't remember saying that.
But I always tell Moshe that.
Yeah.
I go, Bobby Lee said we should just do the college. It's like
Naka.
robbing a bank.
I did a whole Indiana fucking robbing bank fucking tour.
That's what Bobby Lee's robbing colleges told.
I mean,
Well,
basically,
because you're in a bad setting.
Uh-huh.
It's. I mean, not that you're like in a cafeteria often. It's in the day. People don't have any references past anything from 2008.
So are you trying to put on a good show, or are you kind of just like,
It's
this is
impossible.
going to be shitty?
You have to ask them,
Yeah.
about sex or I don't know, or I always talk to them just because I don't know, they don't understand my references.
and then you get a better deal if you can do a run. So what you'll do is there's this thing called NACA conferences, right? You perform, and sometimes you have to follow 3 American Indians with playing a flute.
yeah.
It's
Most
just random.
diverse talent.
It's
I still
random.
do NACA though.
No, I don't do it. No, I won't. I refuse to do it. But back in the day, you'd have 3. You know what I mean? And you'd want to follow that because you'd be like, I want to fucking kill. I mean, you're putting to sleep these people.
Yeah.
And then you would do it, and then you would have to go to the marketplace. All these kids come up, so you do these runs. So you go, they'll get a better deal if 5 schools in a row in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Same
right?
area, yeah.
Same area, and so you would just do this bank robbery from Monday through
that.
Friday, right?
bank robbery.
From town to town, right? And they would pay you, at the time, $1,000 a show, and that's a lot of money when it comes to a young person.
You did a strip show and climbed up on the wall.
In a college?
It's your closer.
I did.
In a
Yeah.
college. Oh,
Oh
wow.
my god.
Oh, and you grinded some student.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
And then I just remember there was a place to climb and you did it.
That's what Bobby does. He scans the room
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
it was very inspiring. I do stuff like that now. I mean, I don't do strip teases.
You do a sing thing, right? Sometimes.
A sing thing.
No, but
Yeah,
you
I
do
do
it.
a
No,
sing
you do
thing.
like sometimes you do it. No, because I have asked you sometimes how does Natasha close, and sometimes I've heard that you bring people on stage and they do a sing. What happens? Tell me.
Oh, maybe a long time
ago, yeah.
I would do or maybe like a dance off.
A dance off. That's what it was.
Did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Now I've been asking people to tell the story of when they've seen a man jerk off in public.
Really?
Yeah, and every woman has a story.
Oh, yeah.
Khalyla, where were you?
Absolutely.
And men don't realize that every woman has experienced
My
this.
first time, I'd only been in America for a year, and I was taking my. It took me 2 buses to get home from swim practice.
Yeah.
And it
You-
was
you were
9
young?
PM. I was 15,
Oh my God.
and this guy, that bus was empty. He walked all the way to the back of the bus, sat right next to me, pulled his giant cock out, and just started like stroking and
It was
looking at me.
that big? He had to use both hands
Dude,
like
it was
that?
so big. I was so.
Oh my God.
I was frightened but impressed.
Yeah.
But then, like, I remember ran home.
Wait, he was in
crying
the
and
same
scared.
chair next to you?
Oh no, I was the only one because it was late. I was the only one on that bus,
Dangerous.
and he sat next to me and he jerked off next to me.
Bobby, don't get any ideas.
You know how
This is not
great-
acceptable behavior.
It's not acceptable. You know how great it would be if women did that in public, masturbate in public. I'm a guy. I moved here from the Philippines.
Yeah.
I'm on a bus. Some lady just pulls out her pussy, starts scrub. I would call all my friends.
America!
America, come to America. It would be the great.
It's so funny. Somehow it's just deeply that.
I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, thank you.
Women would be mentally ill if they did that.
Exactly.
Right.
It's funny how
Men are mentally ill when they do that.
Well, not
not
really. They're just
really.
kind of horny.
Have you ever jerked off in public?
It's so weird.
Yeah, I have.
Then
Look
why
how weird I am.
Yeah, and you
What-
never.
So more men are mentally ill? I mean, why has every woman experienced this but no man has?
Have you ever seen a woman? Has she ever plopped next to you? Even from a distance, have you seen a woman just fucking fisting herself?
I've never seen it too.
Damn it, I've never seen it. No.
Exactly, but I've never met a woman who hasn't seen someone jerk off.
All
in
right,
public.
that's a good point.
It's really good, actually.
That's a very good point. Okay. I've never seen it. I don't know any guy that's ever done it, but I believe you. It's a nightmare.
But I'm just saying it's not necessarily because they're mentally ill.
Right.
I'm saying it's more just like one
Control.
of the symptoms of being a man,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
You guys are horny.
No, that's not what it is. I
No,
think
what
there's
is it?
control
There's
involved.
control. There's
I think
that
there's
type of, like,
control. I think there's like some
sickness.
power that they want to exude, but
Oh, interesting.
I don't
It's
have
definitely intimidating to come over to a young
Right.
girl in an empty bus and pull out your big dick right
Yeah.
next to her.
It's funny how I don't, I've done a lot of strange things. I've sucked dick. Everyone knows that. I've
I did not know that.
yeah, I have.
I don't want to know whose.
You don't
Plenty.
you don't know anybody.
It was your husband.
Moshe? Okay. No comic.
I like that you're just curious.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched weird porn before. I've had prostitute. I've done a lot of weird things I'm not proud of. Christians, if you're listening, okay.
There are a lot of Christians in this niche TigerBelly audience.
Oh, yeah.
Plenty,
Yeah.
actually. In fact, our biggest fan is a man
pastor.
named
A
a
Pastor Gil.
and he's come see me perform.
many
Aw.
times.
Yeah, and he's a real pastor.
That's cool.
So in your face, Natasha. The Lord loves us too.
Shout out to Pastor Gil.
Yeah, but I've never I've never wanted to do that because it involves somebody else that isn't participating.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing as anything like even physically controlling a woman or anything like that. It's like I just not that kind. And it's so funny. Moshe doesn't seem like that kind of guy either.
What, that he would jerk off in public?
Yeah.
Or that he wants control? Well,
He doesn't seem like a controlling guy because. Sorry.
I think that there's different.
You gave yourself bangs.
It doesn't matter.
You look like an artist right now from
I'm an
Korea.
artist. Go ahead.
I think that there are certain types of guys who want girls who have things going on, and then certain types of guys who just want like a +1.
Right. A +1.
And then some guys like they want a girl who like has like her shit going on. You seem more like that kind of guy.
You know what's so funny is that lately I've been running. I don't know. Do you watch The Bachelor?
I have.
Regrettably, so have I. But this last season really pissed me off because he's exactly that type of guy where it's like there were all these like really like amazing women, but then at the end you knew what type of guy he was. He was gonna
just
choose
wanted the
the
+1.
meek +1.
Interesting.
And you're like, oh. But which is
Yeah.
fine. I mean, that's what you wanted. I'm sure she's a great girl, but
I think having a mother like your daughter, right? I think having a strong mother, right, dictates how the children behave or their outlook, or overall outlook, and on.
not always, because my sister is a really outgoing woman. She's very like when she sexually open, just loud and boisterous, and her daughter is the most introverted, meekest, shyest, most
Really?
insecure girl in the world. And I don't know how
Because the
that
dad's
happened.
not in the picture.
Yeah, that's true. But she's had all these strong women around her, always
Yeah.
telling her, always boosting her
Okay,
up,
maybe
and
not
she's
in
just
all
so-
cases, fucking Khalyla.
It's an outlier, you're right. I'm just saying it's
Not in all cases, but I'm just saying in the cases that I know, right? My mother ran the house.
Yeah.
My dad beat me, but my mother is loud and like, come here, you know what I mean? Just manhandled me, and I was always in trouble, and I was always afraid of her, and she dictated everything. And so I've always chosen women, you know what I mean, that run the
strong.
show. She runs the show. And, you know, she yells at me and all kinds of stuff. And I like that. I need that. I don't know why, you know, like with these white, you know, these X-Packs or these white dudes that get like these like 50 or 19 or like Asian chicks that are like from, you know, and they're like 60-year-old white dudes and they marry them. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Because their last wives were like nightmares. I think I know 2 people who did that, and like they wanted a change. They wanted the opposite.
Oh, like just a human, you know, fleshlight walking around.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean,
for
that's
sure.
what I mean. It's got you. Well, you can't imagine you're 60, a white dude. Let's say you were in the military. You had kids of your own. You know, and then all of a sudden, you get a divorce and whatnot, and then you're 60 and you meet a 19-year-old Thai girl from Thailand who barely speaks English. What the fuck are you going to talk to her
It's
about?
also a generational thing, though. I feel like our generation of older men aren't going to be doing that same like fetishizing of the Asian woman, because just historically, it's different. I mean, think about the Vietnam War and what was portrayed in movies at that time. That generation is completely different from ours. I don't think that's going to be perpetuated over time at all. Because my dad got a woman 36 years younger than him in the Philippines. You know, I'm a product of that.
That's what your mom is. Your mom was.
Yeah, and I was born there, but you know,
How old's your mom now?
She's 58 now, but my dad would have been in his 90s because he is 36 years older.
So how old was she when he married her?
He was 57 and she was 21.
Wow.
But see, from a distance, you're thinking, okay, well, that's sort of like a gross, you know, stereotypical rich white guy meets Asian woman. But it was actually much more than that.
Were they in love?
I think that my mom was coming out of like an intensely abusive marriage with a younger Swiss man, and my dad was sort of the guy who pulled her out of that and did a bunch of James Bond type
what
shit.
happened to that Swiss man?
I don't know, but that's just the wild, wild west
was
in the
murdered.
Philippines. My dad didn't murder him. We don't know,
Speculation.
but
Did
yeah,
they stay together till he died?
yeah. And when he had not a dime to his name, she took care of him till the very end. And all her friends were like, well, why? Like, how much money are you getting at the end? She got nothing. We had a cockroach-infested one-bedroom apartment, and she stayed with him till the very end. So it's not always like that. Sometimes there is an exchange.
Again, it's just one, you know, I'm saying in
Sample.
general, a sample. I'm just, in general is what I'm saying. Okay?
Yeah.
God, you guys, man, it's like, get your shit together, man.
Beyonce,
You-
Coachella.
Yeah, it's like, once you got back from fucking
transformed.
Coachella-
Coachella.
but you know what, can I just talk about how to drive to India, babe?
To Indio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get tickets for, you know,
You went to Coachella too?
no, check it out.
He was sort
So
of there.
so so she goes, I want to go to Coachella. That's fine. Go to Coachella. I called CA. They get me tickets.
Wait, CA can get us Coachella
Yeah.
tickets? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Actually,
So
I
I
would
get-
not go there.
Yeah.
I'm just live streaming it in my kitchen.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not gonna go. So you know, I get the tickets Thursday night. So the night before they're gonna go, I get an email that I have to be there to get the tickets at Will Call
in Coachella Valley.
in Coachella Valley. And I'm like, and then I emailed the guy from Golden Voice. I go, yeah, but I'm not going. He's like, yeah, well, there's no way to do. You have to go there because you have to be physical.
Well, he did get those are probably really hard tickets to
Right.
get.
Yeah. So then I drove into the desert Friday.
I drove, you slept. You took a nice long nap.
Yeah, she
And then
drove.
you
but
dropped her off.
dropped her off.
Yeah.
Went to the Will Call.
Yeah, which is really
got the
nice.
tickets.
You went by yourself?
No, with my sister.
She met her.
my
They all
niece.
met her out there.
Yeah.
And then I drove all the way back.
Aww.
That was really sweet. That was one of
That's
the nicest
really
things
fucking
ever.
sweet, am I not?
Uh-huh.
You should see the anger tears I had
Oh,
though
yeah.
Oh.
in the desert driving back.
Wait, why?
Just had to drive out there, you know what I mean?
It wasn't traffic though, right?
If Natasha, I'm driving to the fucking desert.
It's only 2 hours
4.
total.
Yeah.
I love Palm Springs.
Me too.
We go to the fucking desert.
Where do you stay?
Yeah.
Two Bunch Palms.
I love Two Bunch Palms.
That's the best place.
We didn't stay there the last time. That's too expensive.
It's not that expensive.
We stayed at a much.
Well, they've got hot springs.
Yeah. Can I just? I want to talk to you about this, and I just I
Can you
want
get
to
a little closer? Yes, Bobby.
the way I don't know exactly how you were raised, like where you grew up. You know what
me
your
to tell
parents.
you?
Yeah.
Rockford, Illinois.
So you grew up in Rockford, Illinois.
It's not a suburb. It's like more like a small town.
And what did your parents do?
My dad's a used car dealer, and my mom was like a secretary.
So you weren't raised with a lot of money then,
No.
right? Because you always, even when we knew you back then, you seemed like you were from the Hamptons.
The Hamptones.
Hamptons.
The 50s group.
Yeah.
We're the Hamptones.
Were you always like that, even growing up?
No, I just like was overeducated. Like I went to New York for like 10 years or like 5 years, but I went to college for like 10 years. Like I went to college for way too long.
Right.
And then I lived in New York, and then I despised where I was from. So and then I was like, in theater. So I just started talking like how they were teaching me to be an actor from like the 1700s.
Yeah. Because you always had that cadence and that vibe about you. And so
Like all my aunts talk like this.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Because they have that Chicago accent.
I've also met your parents before.
You met my dad?
Dad, yeah.
Where?
At the store maybe years
yeah.
ago. Yeah. Right or no?
I don't remember.
Is he alive?
Yes.
Good. I just thought that maybe, I'm glad he's safe.
But I just talked. I just came up with a way to talk that was like, just to be
Isn't that incredible?
rude.
So the things
no
that we've
reason.
learned, all right? We don't spank. If you and I have a baby,
Can't spank.
we're not going to spank.
Okay.
We're going to educate the fuck out of them.
10 years.
I think that there is something to people that stay in college too long. I think that's actually the way to do it.
Wait, what? You think that's good to stay in college too long?
Yeah, because a lot of these guys, they're 17, 18 when they go to college. They're out by 22.
Oh,
There's
you're right.
no chance to kind of build that character and it kind of, like the 10-year plan, I think, is the correct plan.
Yeah, Steve did a 9-year plan. Look what happened to him.
And the colleges I went to were cheap, like City University of New York. It's like $1,200 a year or something.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Like city, like they're like City
Right,
University.
City college,
Right. But then how old were you? So you were in
So I moved here when I was like 27.
Oh my God.
And then I started comedy at like 29 when I met you.
Oh my God.
How old were you when you started comedy?
23, but
But when you were younger, did you think that, that's the trajectory I'm working towards? Or
No.
did you just happen on it when you came to LA?
Oh, I just like fell into it. I just went to the Comedy Store to see someone I knew do stand up, and I was like, oh, I didn't know it was this. I could do that.
it's incredible.
I
Whoa,
thought you
yeah.
had to be like an old man wearing a suit or something.
A yellow.
Same thing
Rodney
with
Dangerfield.
Kevin Christie. I did a commercial with Kevin Christie, an AM/PM commercial. He was the lead. Mm-hmm. And I just, I was his friend in this AM/PM commercial. I didn't have a line, but I was still a principal. But my point is that, and then we knew each other, and I ran into him at Amoeba, and he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna come see you perform." And I go, "All right." So he came, and then a year later, he calls me, goes, "I think I want to do it." And then he's been doing it. He's great now.
so good.
He's so good now, but he's one that never really did it. This guy, his very first time, killed it.
Oh, thanks.
That's awesome.
What are we doing time-wise?
We're over an hour.
I can't fucking believe it.
How long do you guys usually
we
do?
haven't
You don't
asked
torture
Natasha
people with a
enough.
3-hour podcast?
No.
No, we do an hour. We struggle with 40 sometimes.
We don't struggle. We just are ADD kids, so it's like we can't stick to a topic for more than 30 seconds.
I
at
mean,
a
there's
time.
so much I want to ask her about, but
Yeah, I feel like we kind of just like talked about a shit. that
Khalyla,
wasn't
you're so lucky you
pertinent.
get to live with Bobby. He's so entertaining.
I am. And I
He's
talked
such a
about
great
this.
spirit.
He is around other people, and then
He's neurotic. You got to help keep him in check, right?
But I
But he's so
just
fun.
talking about it
so
this
funny.
weekend.
do you
You are a blessing. You really are.
Thank you. Oh my God, I feel so good about it. I'm a blessing, guys. And the thing is this, I was gonna dive into the whole, that whole thing that we went through with the Ari thing, but people have heard of it too many times.
We never really heard
nobody
Natasha's side.
cares.
Yes,
We heard
no.
Ari's side here.
We heard
Oh,
Ari's
what
side.
did he say? Did he say anything bad about me?
No, just
No.
that you broke his heart. That's
But
it.
do you remember that one? I want to one thing that when he,
Wait, so what happened? He punched you in the face, or he threatened to punch you in the face? I don't
you
remember.
don't even fucking know.
I think he choked him with a telephone cord.
Oh yeah.
So
Very,
the
like,
first time,
John Wick
right?
style.
He hit me from behind, and he kicked my face like 18 times.
Wait, I don't mean to laugh. He kicked your face?
Yeah, where I was bleeding from my face.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't know if I forgive you yet. So, no, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. You don't have nothing to be
You
sorry
didn't
about.
make eye contact with me for 3 years.
I know.
Or maybe more. 5 years?
I know, that was weird.
So there
huh?
was a period where you guys weren't friends
It wasn't that.
He
It was
just
just
wouldn't
that
look at me.
I just wouldn't look at her.
He'd be like, hey.
because you were resentful that you got kicked in the face.
No, I just it was just a weird fucking thing, man.
okay.
It's all okay.
How's that her fault that you got kicked in the face?
It's not her fault, and I never really blamed her for anything.
That was a little weird when you were. I could see you not talking to Ari, but not talking to me. That's kind of rude.
That is rude.
But can I tell you why though?
Okay, if you want.
I will. I'm gonna. Is after the first beating, I asked you. Can you call him and tell him that I had nothing to do with you and Ron?
Call
And-
Ari?
Yeah, and you're like, I'm not gonna call Ari.
And
But I was getting beat up by him, so I was mad about
wait,
that.
so he was like beating you up like after
3
school,
times.
like there was a bully who
Yes.
would beat up a kid all the time.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then a week later, he strangled me to the point where I turned purple and my neck was bleeding.
And you guys are friends now?
Yeah. And then when we did that Comedy
Wouldn't-
Central, that was the thing that
Oh, right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I
Wouldn't
remember.
he
yeah.
periodically like splash water in your face?
No, that was her. Remember that
No,
one time?
I was at the
Oh.
Comedy Store and all of a sudden I just heard someone say, "You don't belong here," and throw a drink in my face.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was with Morgan Murphy and she came out of the bathroom and anyway.
But you know who confronted him right after the...
Morgan did.
No, you know who else did?
You?
Dove Davidoff
Oh, okay.
and Brian Callen.
Well, that was nice of
They
them.
both got up, right? And followed him into the steps that go into the OR and screamed at him.
Well, I got scared that he would like throw acid on my face or something.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Because that's a little crazy to start strangling your friend.
He threw water in your face. He strangled me, beat me up. He was going through a fucking time, that guy.
But he had your words on his wall.
I know.
That's what's so crazy
That's how
about
crazy
it.
it is.
You're a
Well,
prophet.
you were probably a real idol to him,
Yeah. I think
or are.
and it hurt him. Whatever he thought that I did hurt him to the point where it became Shakespearean.
You did do it though. It was because of you that we were together. I'm just kidding.
Oh my
try to get him to
God.
start it
Oh
again.
my God. Oh my
No,
God.
I'm sure he could care less.
Do you
now.
still talk to Ron?
Yeah, sometimes.
He sometimes tweets at me and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yes.
He's the one though, especially that I just was the one that I turned my back on.
Oh, I see. And I was with him, so that made sense.
It's not that. It's just that when he saw you in the belly room that night, before he even came up to you, he said to me, he goes, "Who's that girl?" I go, "Oh, it's my friend Natasha." And he goes, she's the one." And I go, "She's not the one because she's with my friend Ari." I don't care. He goes, "I don't care."
And then you gave him my number?
No.
I know you didn't.
Natasha, I swear to fucking God.
You did it.
I did it!
I said you didn't.
All right, good.
Nobody cares.
So at the end of the thing, what we do is unhelpful advice. So it's an email, and you can give them
Okay.
good advice or not good advice.
Unhelpful advice with Bobby, Khalyla, and Natasha Leggero.
Howdy, my name is Pepper. I've been dating my boyfriend for 3 years. We started dating in college. We met in high school and rekindled when we got back home from the summer. He went to go to school at a different university. So we have been long distance for the duration of our relationship. We graduated a year ago and lived in the same city for 3 months before he moved back to Chicago for work. I live in Houston. We love each other and are okay at long distance, but we have our weak moments. I thought we would move in together after graduating, but he had a job and I had a different job in another state. We don't have any final date set to eventually move in together and start our lives, which I know y'all have talked about being the most important attribute of a long distance relationship. By the way, I'm 24 and he is 23. I guess what I'm trying to ask is, how do I deal with the emotionally draining aspect of the relationship while maintaining a healthy relationship? What's the next step? Love you guys so much.
Leave him.
Yeah, I think you need to like get around.
Me
Don't
too.
you
I
think?
totally agree. Please, you're 24. Please get around
Yeah.
for a few more years. Don't come.
And then if he wants to chase you and really make it happen, then he can. But he's not even, he doesn't seem like he's making decisions based on your love, right? He's like,
This one right here, Khalyla, I know probably 10 dudes she dated before she met me.
How?
There's probably
You know
even
them.
more.
10 is a very low number.
I know, but probably more. I'm just
Proudly.
offhand. I can rattle
Do
them
not.
off,
Face
right?
it, face it.
Even with this one right here, Natasha, this white. Yeah.
GW.
I know.
I was 6% sub-Saharan African when I did my DNA test.
Ooh.
So
That's fucking
I'm not
crazy.
all white.
All right.
I resent being called a white.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But I know probably 5 guys she dated, right?
And 10 that Khalyla dated?
Yeah. My point is that, and now, Khalyla's with Moshe. Not Khalyla. Natasha.
swingers, it
Sorry, my
turns
bad. Natasha's with Moshe, and she's with me, right?
Yeah.
And so I just would, to her, I wouldn't want to say, go live.
Yeah.
Because you
I
have,
thought all 23-year-olds were poly.
I know, right? This is a girl, right?
Girl.
Yeah.
That just means that they're lesbians, right? Like a girl who's like on poly, a lot of times that means that she
That
wants
they-
to like have sex with women even though she's in a relationship with a male.
I'm not sure. I feel like at 23, 24, didn't we all sort of, want to
I think I
jump
missed the
in that?
window.
You never did that?
No.
I missed the window for like, drug use too. There's no way. There's nothing cool about 30 something like trying out drugs for the first time.
But I think that this girl, whatever her name is, what's her name?
Pepper.
Pepper. I think that Pepper should see other people, do her own thing, and if it's meant to be, it'll come back around and
it'll be a cuter story then. Oh, we once dated and then I fucked around for a long period and then we got back together.
yeah,
Aw,
exactly.
classic story.
How romantic.
Love
Rom-com.
story.
Honestly, you have to fuck around. You really do, because my mind wanders. And my mind, I'll tell you about my mind. If I hadn't been with a lot of women, if I was with Khalyla, and my mind would go, what would it be like with this kind of, but I've tapped, all different kinds,
Tapped.
all right, of trees to get different sap.
Ooh, I like
That's
that
basically
one.
what I was saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't being crude. All right, so I've been tapping trees, and I know which one I like the most.
Sap is the best.
Maple syrup, maple sap,
Right here.
right there.
Maple.
She's maple. So my point is that your mind's gonna wander, baby, Pepper, baby Pepper, and you have to,
Baby Pepper.
baby Pepper, you have to experiment. And you know what, guys? I read a statistic. There's 1 out of every 30 million people are compatible with each other on Earth.
1 out of 30 million?
Yeah.
How the fuck? How is compatibility even measured? Because I feel like some people are just tolerant of like shitty people and they just stay with them.
No.
And
There's
is that
everyone's-
compatibility?
I read somewhere that that's the thing.
But what is true compatibility? How is that measured?
Life partner. That you can convince you can, if the circumstances are right. There's 30 million people out there that you can live with and have a life with and be
I feel
happy.
like I feel like I could live with a lot of people. Like my ex-boyfriend was a kind, great person. I probably, if I was feeling a little lazy, I would have been like, I could stay in this forever.
I wish I could hook up with 30 million people. right.
Me
And
too.
go, Khalyla's the one out of the 30 million. Dude, imagine fucking 30 million people.
That's so many people.
But I do think it depends on the person's like personality.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm very tolerant. I feel like maybe the 30 million thing would be right for me, but I think maybe other people.
Well, I think circumstances too have a play in it. For instance, like, Moshe is one of the 30 million on Earth, right? But he's also a comic. He lives in LA, right? You guys cross the same paths. You have the same likes and whatnots. But the thing is that if you were a plumber, right, and you were living in Houston and you were working for a plumbing company
Firm.
right?
Plumbing firm.
You might meet Bubba, who is Houston's Moshe, and you would be able to.
And the plumbing.
He's a plumber, and you might be able to like stay with him. It's just circumstances.
I hear you.
Yeah, but in terms of there are people out there that you're compatible with, though.
I believe that.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I made it up.
I knew it.
I know, you're so full of shit. That's
30 million.
I know, but I'm pretty
absurd.
fucking. How good am I though?
That was pretty good.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
I mean, I just figured you read some dumb information.
No, it's not dumb because I made it up.
It's just yeah.
All right. Was that good?
It was good. I was trying to look for it. I couldn't find anything.
Exactly. You know why you couldn't find it?
Why?
Because I made it up.
I know.
Yeah, I'm a genius. Well, let's give Natasha a round of applause. Is there anything you want to plug?
Yes.
Yes, my Netflix special called The Honeymoon Stand-Up Special.
You can stream it now.
It's streaming on Netflix. I do a half hour. Moshe Kasher, my husband, does a half hour, and then we are joined. It's a 3-part special, and then the last half hour we do live relationship counseling to people in the crowd.
Oh,
you
that's
guys would have
amazing.
been a great
Oh, that was
Yes.
I know,
specimen.
that was great.
Does this look like it might work out?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
And but it really, we just kind of roasted the people. We would roast
Oh.
you guys probably,
Yes. Oh, we would love that.
or we would all roast Bobby.
Yeah.
No, Rose, you know what? I would love that. I would love to get like an outsider's perspective, but specifically like their perspective.
All right.
I'm very excited about this podcast.
This one right here.
Yeah,
This one right here.
I've heard so many people talk about
No,
it.
but no. Everyone, listen. A lot of people want to do it. Okay, and this is what I feel good about. It's kind of exclusive.
Do you have someone every week or no?
No.
What, you guys just talk?
Every other week, yeah. So we do,
On and off.
and we only have this caliber on. No, really, I mean, we've had
So no
James
Mike Myers.
Vanderbeek,
Oscar winning.
Jordan Peele, and we've had a lot of people.
Stone Street.
Mike Rosenbaum, Eric Stone Street. Some good ones. But I got to get Moshe on here too.
Okay.
He'll do it, right?
Of course.
Okay. Give Natasha a round of applause.
Any just road dates? for
Yeah,
you,
any
maybe?
road dates?
Road dates.
I can't do the road. I have a newborn.
That's true.
what
I'm
am I
at
gonna
the
do?
Ontario Improv.
Khalyla, do you go with him?
Not so much anymore. I feel like in the beginning he used to want to
Can you
take me on the road.
can you
'cause he
go to
wanted
this one?
impress
Can you
me
go to
so
this one
much.
because I have some things I need to deal with in Ontario.
Now I just go for protection. Like if anyone chooses wants to body slam him during his act, which happens often,
Yeah, happens
then I'm just
often.
don't do it.
Please
that's what I'm
don't.
there
It's
for.
my boyfriend.
Yeah, I love him.
What's your favorite club?
I don't know. I guess
You like the
maybe-
Denver Comedy Works?
Yeah, Denver probably.
I love that. I just did it. I do it
really
every
good.
other year. It's so good.
That one's really good.
Parlor Live in Seattle. Do you do that one?
Yeah, that was good.
Bellevue.
I think so. Portland,
Yeah. You like Helium there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's great.
San Francisco.
Punchline.
I'm
or
just
Cops?
naming cities I like to go to.
Yeah. Those are the ones she goes to.
Those are the only ones I go to.
Yeah, she'll go to the one cities that
Just
she
like
likes.
Pacific Northwest and San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah. If I'm
New
like
York.
I'm gonna be in
I'm not
Lubbock.
trying to go to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I mean, I would.
Do you play that Helium?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
good.
I like that guy. Any one more time for Natasha?
Make sure you follow us on Instagram at TigerBelly, on Twitter at the TigerBelly.
I can follow you guys on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, Natasha, what is your handle?
Natasha Leggero, my name.
Follow her. Type her name in all social media. You can email us any questions.
Oh yeah, I have one last thing.
Yep.
I have one last thing. You guys, one last thing. What do you guys? So our ratings. Just hear me out. Our ratings on Splitting Up Together. They're every week it's lower and lower.
Your ratings?
For the show I'm on a show.
Oh God. But all ratings are low because
natural.
I know.
because no one's watching scheduled television.
I understand that.
What
but we
show are you on?
Splitting Up Together. It's a ABC show.
But the ratings are still good. You're still winning
Remember
your
you-
time slot.
We
Don't
win
worry
our
about it.
time slot, but we just need you to Tuesday. This Tuesday, just watch this Tuesday or the next Tuesday, wherever this comes out,
Yeah.
and then
We need a yard, so please watch the show.
Then I think that it'll get picked up in the next week or two.
Woo! So watch the show, guys. And also email us any questions at the tigerbelly@gmail.com. And make sure you get your mattress on. The mattress that Bobby loves to sleep on. Lisa.com.
Lisa got the best mattress in the world.
But the Lisa.com/belly. Have a good one, guys. Bye.